He took everything from me. Now, this is a fictional book by Tshedimosetso Malats that tells a story relating to gender-based violence and child abuse. Now, this is through the book's protagonist, 16-year-old Lisa, who was sexually violated by her uncle. Well, without giving away too much of the storyline, let's now rope in Tshedimosetso into this conversation so she can help us unpack this offering further. And she joins me now in studio. Tshedi, a very good morning. Good to have you. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Happy New Year. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and you?
Great stuff, great stuff. Wow, this is such a beautiful, beautiful book. Tell us more about it and why you decided to write it.
Okay, this book is based on gender-based violence. Growing up as a young girl, we realized a lot of things like through your society, how elders make things that are actually killing our youngsters as norms. So I decided to write a book about rape. I actually have a friend who was raped when I was in grade 9. She never got justice. So I wrote this book to raise awareness against gender-based violence.
Yeah, and do unpack the title for us if you can. He took everything from me. What's the significance of this title?
Okay.
And the cover as well.
Okay.
Wow.
He took everything from me. Everything, a woman's body is a woman's pride. My body is my pride. When I look at my body, I'm not expecting anyone to touch me anyhow that I don't like. So I chose the book, I chose the title, Everything, because of a woman's body is a woman's territory. If I say no, it means no. So I'm marking my own body. So I chose everything because it's all about pride, self-esteem, how I see myself. So if somebody violates me, I'm not going to see myself the way I used to see myself in the mirror. It's just changed and reflects all the pain that the person has put me through.
Yeah, because the perpetrator took your very essence, you took your very being. He took everything from me, hence the title of this book.
Yes, and the cover, I chose the girl who was drowning because of, I feel like when somebody's drowning, there's so much pain, like the water going through the nostrils. Like when you drink water and like, so like, yeah, that's why I chose the cover.
I get you. And it centers around gender-based violence, and the story is told through, the eyes of the protagonist, Lisa. Just take us through her journey.
Okay, Lisa is a 16-year-old girl. She was just a normal girl. And how I look at Lisa, she used to dress in short dresses. So what I was trying to pass through is that it doesn't matter what I wear. I can wear a skirt, I can wear a pants and still get violated. I can be at home and still get violated. I can be at church and still get violated. So I chose Lisa and how I described her. Then Lisa's mother was forced to get married to her uncles, to Lisa's uncle.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all about forced marriage and rape, abuse, family and stuff.
And I see you've highlighted a phrase here on the cover: if abuse had a color, it would be red.
Oh, that is from one of the poems that I read when I was 15. So I really loved how the writer just talked about if rape had a color, it would be red. So I just took that and tried to pass it through everybody who didn't know the poem.
Okay. And I suppose in simpler terms, it means, possibly red represents blood, it represents suffering, it represents danger. And in what context did you use that particular, phrase in trying to describe the story?
Okay. Red is a very painful color. I feel like red is just simplifies. It doesn't simplify. It refers to pain, as you said.
Yes.
And I chose the context. If rape was a color, it would be red because of Lisa never got to heal. Even though she went through some therapies and stuff, she never got to forget because of that person was somebody she trusted. She was supposed to protect her. So she carried the burden and the guilt of being raped alone. She was scared to talk.
Let's talk about Lisa's healing journey. You say that she never healed. And it begs the question, can you really heal after being violated?
I don't think that anybody can heal from pain. You just have to make room for pain. Pain will always be there. Growing up as a young girl, I've realized that pain will always be there. As a teenager, pain will always be there. It never goes away. So Lisa learned to make room for pain, that even though I went through this, even after 10 years, after 20 years, I'm still going to remember what my uncle did to me. So she never got to heal, even though she went through therapist, but she forgave herself and she forgave the rapist, not because of she thought that it was the right thing to do, but because she needed to forgive herself first to be able to heal, which she never got to.
So I suppose that the fact that she forgave herself was sort of a coping mechanism for the horrible things that happened to her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about, how teenagers, women, girls, who find themselves in a very precarious position of being violated in any form, how can they, report such? Because it's now becoming very difficult for young girls to report such. Because, one, they're not even aware that a crime has been committed against them. Two, and the societal pressure, the societal embarrassment that they may find themselves in. So I want us to have this conversation. How do you think girls should cope with this particular instance?
When I launched my book, I quoted a word that says, "We are women, we are law." So I feel like as women, we should be able to support each other. When I wrote this book, I was trying to support my friend so that tomorrow she may be able to raise her voice and not keep quiet like, okay, my friend wrote a book, why should I keep quiet? And I feel like justice can also be bought, the way I look at it. Because of like, there are many people who were raped that never got justice. You can only buy justice if you can afford the most expensive lawyer. Then that's the only time that you can actually get justice. So, all I'm trying to say is that we should raise our voice. We should be the voices that people are waiting to hear. We should take a step. We should take a stand. We should be the generation that's gonna say no is a no.
Yes.
We should be the generation that's gonna say enough is enough. We are tired. Because of 16 days of stopping rape is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's
Definitely
not enough. Yes.
Yeah,
Because of like each and every second a rape case is reported. It's either suicide, and when you look at the case from suicide, you just find out it was abuse. Maybe the person was raped or the person was abused and stuff like that. So I feel like we should be the voices that the world is waiting to hear. We should be able to take a stand, and we should be able to raise our voice. Yeah.
And I suppose that that voice can be made even louder when men join in the fight against gender-based violence, right?
Yeah, it could be even louder. I can see that I feel really safe around my father. He never gave me any reason to be scared around him, even though there have been ups and downs. But I never, I can wear a shirt and still walk in front of my father. He won't look at me in a certain way because of he sees his daughter. He's not seeing a woman. It's really heartbreaking how a 60-year-old man can see a 16-year-old girl and sees a wife.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So for those watching this interview right now, and for some of those who've been through Lisa's, terrible ordeal, what is it that they should take away after reading this book?
They should, what I would love them to do is that they should live their life. I feel like if you live on what happened in the past, you will never get to see the present. Because of I watch these cartoons called Kung Fu, then it's like, the present is a gift. You should live in the present.
Yes.
Stop living in the past, even though it might hurt, even though you might not be able to forget. But you should focus on you now, on what you want to achieve, on what you want to do. So yeah.
Right. Where can we get a copy of this book? Because I'm loving it.
Okay. This book, I only have it because I'm a self-published author. I haven't really put it in bookstores, but I'm planning on doing that.
Okay.
Yes.
So how are you reachable then?
Through Facebook.
Okay. What's your handle?
Okay, I call myself Sanctified King.
Sanctified
Yes.
King. How cool
I
is
love
that?
being in control. I'm a king. Yes, I'm
How
not
cool
a king.
is that?
Yeah.
Right.
And also in Instagram, I call myself the very same thing, Sanctified King. Then if you can't find me on Instagram, my name is Tshedimosetso Malats, as written in the book.
All right.
Yes.
Teddy, lovely chatting to you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate your time, hey. Well, that was Tshedimosetso Malats, and she joined us this morning for a conversation about her latest book titled, He Took Everything From Me.